Many believe him to be one of the best players of his generation, and many consider him to be one of the best players of all time greatest. There's no doubt that everyone understands how Ronaldinho was a legend. Ronaldinho's legacy goes way beyond just numbers. And yes, it is true that he's remembered as a football genius who brought so much joy to the game. But did you know how good was he exactly? And how did he do it? How did he establish a name for himself? Hey, did you know that back in 1997, Brazil's under-17 national team won the World Cup? It's pretty cool. One player in particular stood out among the rest. He got his nickname when he played for the Graham News Academy because he was the shortest player on the team. Can you believe that this player, who was known as Ronaldinho, would later become famous? The following year, he even got called up to Grandma's main squad. Let's get to know this maestro journey, and unfortunately, the downfall. Football was already in Ronaldinho's blood even before he was born. His father used to be a professional football player. His brother is currently a professional football player, and even his uncles and grandfathers have played the game. However, it is worth mentioning that they are not your typical professional players, as they played for small clubs in small leagues. Did you know that Ronaldinho's real name is actually Ronaldo de Assis Moreira? It's quite fascinating. When he was 8 years old, the name Ronaldinho was added to his first name, Inho. The nickname meant small because he was one of the tiniest kids in his youth club. This name became his identity throughout his career because when he joined the Brazilian national team, there was already another player named Ronaldo. Since he was younger, people started calling him by his first name to differentiate between the two. Over time, this name became widely recognized and associated with him. However, even at the age of 8, his talent was already significantly more advanced. His touch, dribble, and control were far superior to the other kids. That's because Ronaldinho started honing his dribbling skills from a young age. Even before playing on a proper football field in an organized match, he would practice by playing beach football and indoor futsal. So by the time he could walk, he was already getting the hang of dribbling. He first gained significant attention when he was just 13 years old. During a match against a local football team, he achieved a remarkable 23-0 victory, single-handedly scoring all 23 goals. You know, it's like when you play FIFA and your player's on easy mode. My goodness, that must have been absolutely embarrassing for the other team. Did you know that Ronaldinho made his professional senior debut under Grêmio in the Brazilian Serie A? It's pretty impressive that he scored 23 goals in just 48 matches, and he was only 18 years old at the time. In 1998, the following year marked his debut in his first international match. In the 1999 Copa America, Brazil emerged as the champions. Interestingly, just a week later, the victorious Brazilian team members transitioned to representing their country in another match. During the 1999 Confederations Cup, he scored in every game except the final. Notably, he even achieved a hat trick against Saudi Arabia. In the end, he won the tournament's Golden Ball and scored 6 goals, earning the tournament's Golden Boot. I understand that the Confederations Cup may not be the most significant tournament, but achieving such a feat at the age of 19 is undeniably impressive. In a surprising turn of events, it was Arsenal who became the first European team to approach Ronaldinho in 2001. However, the move never materialized because Ronaldinho was unable to obtain a work permit. This was due to a rule that required non-European players to have played a sufficient number of international matches. I apologize to Arsenal fans. It's unfortunate that you didn't get the chance to witness a young Ronaldinho playing alongside Thierry Henry and Dennis Bergkamp. However, perhaps in an alternate universe, this dream scenario could have become a reality. PSG was the first European team to secure Ronaldinho's signature in 2001. He agreed to a surprisingly low 5-year, €5 million contract. I'm honestly amazed at how they managed to secure his signature for such a modest amount. It's particularly surprising when you consider that many young players nowadays are earning exorbitant salaries, despite not necessarily being exceptional in their performance. Initially, Ronaldinho spent a few months on the bench before gradually earning his place in the starting lineup. He began to gain more recognition during his first year with PSG, particularly after the winter break. Upon his return from the break, he deployed remarkable performance by scoring in 4 consecutive matches. This outstanding achievement secured him a permanent starting position in his first year with PSG. Throughout the season, Ronaldinho showcased his skills by scoring 13 goals and providing 4 assists in 39 appearances. His remarkable contributions led him to become the top scorer for the club in all competitions. Despite Ronaldinho's rapid rise to stardom, he faced a challenging relationship with his coach, Luis Fernandes, during that time. Fernandes criticized the young Brazilian, claiming that he was too engrossed in the Parisian nightlife and frequently failed to return on time from his Brazilian holidays. I mean, what is the deal with Brazilian stars getting so caught up in partying? We have Ronaldo, Pato, Adriano, and Ronaldinho, all known for their extravagant nightlife. Now, the case was that in the upcoming season, Ronaldinho is expected to score 12 goals and provide 4 assists in 37 games. This performance is similar to his output last year, where he led his club in scoring across all competitions and guided them to the Coupe de France final. However, despite his efforts, PSG did not win any silverware that year and finished 11th in the league. After this season, Ronaldinho requested a trade because the club failed to qualify for any European competition. He believed that by playing on a bigger stage, he would have the opportunity to further enhance his reputation and make an even greater name for himself. The summer of 2002 was a time of great attention and admiration for the young Ronaldinho. The World Cup, which was jointly hosted by South Korea and Japan, truly highlighted the exceptional skills and talent of Ronaldinho. Alongside Rivaldo and Ronaldo, Ronaldinho formed what was famously referred to as Brazil's 3 Rs. Their unstoppable offensive prowess dominated the 1999 Copa America. Ronaldinho scored 2 goals and provided 3 assists throughout the tournament. Although it may not sound overly impressive, Ronaldinho played a pivotal role in saving his team from elimination during the quarterfinal match against England. In the match, Brazil was trailing 0-1 until Ronaldinho made a remarkable run and skillfully passed the ball to Rivaldo, who easily scored a goal with his assist. If it weren't for Ronaldinho, Brazil would have lost the game and missed the opportunity to secure their country's 5th World Cup title. He scored one of the most iconic free kicks in World Cup history, perfectly placing the ball in the upper 90 corner. By the conclusion of the 2002-2003 season, Ronaldinho had established himself as a renowned global superstar, despite being just 23 years old. Barcelona was determined to acquire him and successfully outbid Manchester United, signing Ronaldinho for €30 million. Since 2004, Ronaldinho continued to solidify his status as one of the greatest footballers of his generation. Oh, did you know that he actually won the FIFA World Player of the Year award in both 2004 and 2005? It just goes to show how incredibly skilled and talented he is on the global stage. Also, he was really important in helping Barcelona win the UEFA Champions League title in 2006. That made him a big part of the club's amazing history. But you know what? Toward the end of his career, Ronaldinho had to deal with a bunch of challenges that really messed things up for him. People started questioning his dedication to training and professionalism, which ultimately resulted in a decline in his performances on the field. Plus, there were also some off-field controversies and personal problems that started to overshadow his sporting accomplishments, which ended up damaging his once impeccable reputation. So basically, all of these things ended up cutting his career short, which is really sad considering what an amazing journey he had as a football legend. He was just magical. There was just something special about his game. It went beyond just scoring goals. Not only could he find the back of the net, but he also had the ability to create opportunities for his teammates with assists and make impressive runs that resulted in goals. Ronaldinho was a truly magical player who had an incredible ability to dance with the ball. He was an absolute expert at free kicks and had an extraordinary touch that amazed us all. He created unforgettable and iconic moments on the field, inspiring countless young players, including myself, to try out his crazy and flashy moves. It's worth mentioning that Ronaldinho is a true icon of the game of football. Even though he is retired, he continues to travel the world as a global ambassador for the sport. To me, Ronaldinho had such a huge impact on the sport, but his later years were kind of rough. What are your thoughts about his legacy in the football world? Don't forget to let me know about your thoughts on his downfall in the comments section.